So I want you guys to watch a part of this video. I'm not going to kill you with the whole thing because it's very redundant, and he's go on and on and on with useless information in order to confuse you so that you don't really understand what he's talking about.
The existence of people as being a domino. And the Christian God who created us, he's the domino before us. And God 2 is the domino before Christian God, and God 3 is before God 2, and so on. Now, if everything always needed a cause for its existence, then there would be an unending or infinite number of dominoes. And if there was an infinite number of dominoes, we couldn't be here because nothing could ever begin. And for people who believe in the Big Bang Theory, this is still a problem. Because let's just say that the Big Bang does happen, the question still arises, how did it start? No. The very fact that we are here and alive is proof that someone or something was eternal. Because if everything needed a cause for its existence, then there would be an infinite number of events that would need to happen in order for us to get here. And if there was an infinite number of events before us, things could never begin. In order for us to be here, there needed to be a starting force to push down the first domino.
So in the first part of the video, he pretty much reiterates the exact same thing over and over again, that there must be something eternal in order for us to be here. But the problem is that he starts out with the idea, the presupposition that we can't be here unless there is something eternal, that our existence can't happen without something eternal. Already having that predetermined landing point, then his decision is already made. And now it's just a matter of trying to justify it. And logically, Occam's razor, it doesn't justify it at all. There can be, why can there not be an infinite number of dominoes to be pushed down to the point where we don't know the dominoes anymore? For instance, most people can track their heritage, their ancestry, only to a certain point. There becomes a time frame where you cannot account for your ancestors, but yet you know your ancestors did exist, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So in his thought process, because you cannot account for the infinite number of causations, then you can exist, but yet you do exist. And this is one of the claims that many Christians say, that I know that there is God because of proof of my current existence. But your proof of current existence can go into domino effect to domino effect into an infinite number to which you would never know. See, Christians have a problem just saying, I don't know. That there's a point where we just don't know. The Big Bang Theory, there's a point of we don't know what started it. There will be almost a virtual impossibility for us to figure out what started, in the same way that it will be a virtual impossibility for you to figure out who your ancestors are to the first person. All right, do you understand what I mean by that? Like, as far as records go, you can track your family. But then there's a point where there are no records, but yet you had genealogy that still exists. So there's only so far you can go. There's only so far we're going to be able to go in science, but that does not negate the idea of an infinite number of possibilities until we get to the causation. Now, he says that it has to be eternal in order for it to happen. Well, here's the thing. That's not God of the gaps. We don't know what that thing is that initiated whatever gets to where we are today. You cannot claim it to be God, and you certainly can't claim it to be the Christian God, because there are hundreds of gods that existed before the Christian God existed, because God is a man-made creation. Let's go to his point 2.
Domino. Point number 2. The universe can't be eternal. Science tells us that our universe is actually expanding and that our universe has a limited amount of energy. Now, if our universe is expanding and we were to reverse time, our universe would just be a little bit smaller than it is today at a single point. In addition to that, think of the energy that's being used in the universe as a fuel tank to a car. If right now our fuel tank is half empty, then there needed to be a time in which which the tank was actually full. All of that to say, the fact that our universe is expanding right now and has a limited amount of energy that's being used in our solar system and galaxies, all of this points us to the fact that our universe had a beginning and therefore could not be eternal.
Yet again, this is where his logic is flawed once more. First, by saying that the universe is not eternal. The universe is as eternal as our understanding of eternal is, and it is as eternal as your deity God is, no matter how you try to slice it, because you cannot pinpoint a beginning of our universe in the same way that you cannot pinpoint a beginning of your God. Now, as far as the idea that the universe has a certain amount of fuel, a certain amount of energy, and to compare that to a car, that is not even apples and oranges. That's like comparing nuclear fusion to your ability to pedal a bike. The reason being is because of this. Just as well as God can, if you think about the concept of God, God can never be no more of itself nor any less of itself, right? So since you cannot add to God or take away from God, because if God can be added to or taken away from, then it is not God. It has to be all encompassing, all self-contained. In the same way as the universe, when you understand that the universe functions in energy transmutation, the energy of the universe doesn't dissipate, and it doesn't increase. It remains the same. It's in a constant state of the exact amount of energy that the universe has at all time. Energy from the universe can never be taken away from, nor can energy in the universe be added to. It can only transmute from one form to another. So to use his example of a car and a gas tank, the fuel in the gas tank transmutes itself into gases, which then transmute into something else. The fuel in the gas tank never goes away. It's just no longer contained in the gas tank to make your car function. That's why I said the comparison is idiotic, because it's not even a logical or the right type of comparison. It's designed to make you think the universe is running out of gas when the universe can never run out of gas. From its most finite point to its most infinite point, the universe contains the exact same amount of energy as it has always had and as it has always will. Otherwise, the universe just wouldn't be the universe. Simply the same way as the all can never be more than itself nor less than itself. So your God can never be more than itself nor less than itself. It always has to be itself, which is why your Trinity doesn't work at all. And then we're going to do his last point. It's going to be very quick.
Point number 3. The God of the Bible claims to be eternal.
Yeah, so the last part is that the Bible claims to be eternal, to which we already know the Bible is a book that is written by man. It's not a book that is written by any deity. Spider-Man claims to live in New York City. That's what Marvel claims. I'm just saying. Homer claimed that Achilles fought in the Trojan War. A book can claim anything. Just because a book claims something doesn't make it true. So just because of that. But if that's your faith, that's your faith. I won't argue his faith. Because he has a right to believe whatever he wants to believe. And belief is without facts. And in that entire video, he demonstrated that he does not have facts, does not know all the facts, and will take science and twist it to fit how he wants it to fit for his category. Not even realizing that his understanding of the universe is the understanding of the all, is the understanding of what God should be. And but he doesn't really get it that way because he has to force this narrative. But it's okay. So y'all have a great day. Remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.